ඇය නමින් ස්වභාව ධර්මය වන්නේ මීට වසර බිලියන ගණනකට පෙර උපත ලබන්නේ කීප අයුරකින් පෙනී සිටින්නේ විටක ඇය ජලය වී ගලා යන්නේ තවත් විටක වායු ධාරාවක්ව හමා යන්නේ තවත් අවස්ථාවකදී ඇය යම්කිසි භූගෝලීය ප්‍රදේශයකට ආවේනික වූ ශාක සහ සත්ව විශේෂ දරමින් ඒවා තුලින් තුරු ලතා මල් ගොමු සතා සීපාවා තනමින් බුද්ධියෙන් අගතැන්පත් යයි සම්මත මිනිසා වන අපට අපවම සොයා දෙන්නේ අපවම තනා දෙන්නේ ඔබත් මමත් ඇයගේ කුසෙන් උපත ලබා ගත්තෙමු ඇයගේ තුරුලේ හැදී වැඩුණෙමු අවසානයේදී පරිණාමය නම් වූ ක්‍රියාවලිය නිසාම බුද්ධියෙන් අගතැන්පත් යයි විරුදාවලි ලැබමු නමුත් වර්තමානයේ වන විට බුද්ධියෙන් අගතැන්පත් අප සබා දහම් මෑණියගේ තුරුලින් ඇයගේ දරුවන් උදුරාගෙන තලා පෙලා මරා දමා අවසානයේ ඇඟලා ගැනීමට තරම් සාහසික වන්නෙමු. එනිසා මේ අවස්ථාව එළඹ ඇත්තේ වනජීව සම්පත සුරැකීමට වනජීව ජාවාරම පිළිබඳ ගෝලීය කතිකාවතකට. කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයත් ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය පරිසර සංරක්ෂණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවත් සයිටීස්කෝප් 2018 සයිටීස්කෝප් 18 ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහලේකම් කාර්යාලයත් පාරිසරික පදනමත් එක්ව සංවිධානය කරනු ලබන මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ඉතිහාසයේ ප්‍රථම වතාවට එකම වේදිකාවක වනජීවී ජාවාරම පිළිබඳ විශේෂඥයින් සහ පරදු දරන්නන් එක්ව සිය අදහස් ඉදිරිපත් කරනු ඇත මේ වටිනා සම්පත ආරක්ෂා කර ගන්නට. වනජීව ජාවාරම පිළිබඳ වූ ගෝලීය කතිකාවත 2019 වෙනුවෙන් අවසරයි මට පිළිගන්නට රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය ගරු රංජිත් අලුවිහාරේ මැතිතුමනි ඔබතුමන්වත් විදේශ කටයුතු පිළිබඳ අමාත්‍යාංශ ගරු ලේකම් තැන්පත් රවිනාත ආර්යසිංහ මැතිතුමනි ඔබතුමන්වත් කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ වැඩ බලන උපකුලපති KRR මහානාම මැතිතුමනි ඔබතුමන්වත් විවිධ දෙපාර්තමේන්තු සයිටීස්කෝප් 18 සහ අනිකුත් මහලේකම් කාර්යාල ඇතුළු සියල්ල නියෝජනය කරමින් මෙහි පැමිණි ගෞරවනීය ආරාධිත ඔබ සියලු දෙනාවත් කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලීය ප්‍රජාවත් අවසරයි පිළිගන්නට අවස්ථාව වෙනුවෙන්.
அனைவருக்கும் எமது இனிய காலை வந்தனம். வன ஜீவராசிகள் கடத்தல் பற்றிய மாநாட்டிற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் ராஜாங்க அமைச்சர் மாண்புமிகு ரஞ்சித் அலுவிஹார அவர்களையும் வெளிநாட்டு அலுவல்கள் அமைச்சின் செயலாளர் திரு ரவிநாத ஆரியசிங்க அவர்களையும் தற்காலிக உபவேந்தர் பேராசிரியர் KRR மகாநாம் அவர்களையும் மற்றும் வருகை தந்திருக்கும் ஏனைய மதிப்புக்குரிய விருந்தினர்களையும் இந்நிகழ்வின் ஒழுங்கமைப்பாளர்களின் சார்பாக வரவேற்பதில் பெருமிதம் அடைகிறேன். இம்மாநாடு வனஜீவராசிகள் பாதுகாப்பு திணைக்களம், கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழகம், சைட்டிஸ்கோப் 18 இலங்கை செயலகம் மற்றும் வரையறுக்கப்பட்ட சுற்றாடல் மன்றத்தின் கூட்டு முயற்சியினால் ஒழுங்குபடுத்தப்பட்டுள்ளது. முதன்முறையாக ஒழுங்குபடுத்தப்பட்டிருக்கும் இந்நிகழ்வானது வனஜீவராசிகளின் கடத்தல் பற்றிய விசேட அறிவையும் பல தகவல்களையும் அறிந்த பல பங்குதாரர்களை ஒன்றிணைத்துள்ளது. இங்கு தமது நேரத்தை ஒதுக்கி வன ஜீவராசிகளின் கடத்தல் எனும் முக்கிய விவகாரத்தை பற்றிய கலந்துரையாடலில் நம்முடன் இணைந்து கொண்டுள்ள அனைவரையும் பாராட்டியே ஆக வேண்டும்.
Good morning. On behalf of the organizing partners, I'd like to warmly welcome State Minister Honorable Ranjit Aluvihara, Secretary of Foreign Affairs Mr. Ravinatha Arya Singha, Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo Professor KRR Mahanama, and all distinguished guests for being here at the Symposium on Wildlife Trafficking 2019. This symposium is a joint effort by the Department of Wildlife Conservation, the University of Colombo, CITES COP18 Sri Lanka Secretariat, and the Environmental Foundation Limited. Today's event is the first of its kind, bringing together a range of stakeholders, including those with specialized knowledge and inside information on trafficking of wildlife. We much appreciate everyone taking the time to join us here today to launch the dialogue to address the pressing concerns of wildlife trafficking. Before we start, please rise for the national anthem.
ස්තුතියි. මීළඟට යෙදී ඇත්තේ උත්සව සභාව පිළිගැනීමේ අවස්ථාවයි. ඒ සඳහා මාගේ ගෞරවනීය ආරාධනය වනජීවී ජාවාරම පිළිබඳ වූ ගෝලීය කතිකාවත 2019 පරිසංවාදයේහි සම මූලාසන සහ කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලීය විද්‍යාපීඨයේ සත්ව විද්‍යා හා පරිසර විද්‍යා අධ්‍යයන අංශයට අනුබද්ධිත ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ කතිකාචාර්ය ආචාර්ය නිල්මලී පල්ලේවත්ත මැතිණියනි ඔබ තුමියටයි.
அடுத்ததாக வரவேற்பு உரையை நிகழ்த்துவதற்காக இந்த மாநாட்டின் இணைத் தலைவரும் விலங்கியல் மற்றும் சுற்றுச்சூழல் அறிவியல் துறையின் சிரேஷ்ட விரிவுரையாளருமான டாக்டர் நிர்மாலி பல்லேவத்த அவர்களை தாழ்மையுடன் அழைக்கிறேன்.
I'd like to warmly welcome on stage Dr. Nirmali Pallevatha, co-chair of this symposium and a senior lecturer at the Department of Zoology and Environment Sciences, to deliver the welcome speech.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I have to say, perhaps for the first time in my experience, we are running early. That's why, we are running a little slow. So please excuse us if you think that it is not that we are not organized. I believe we are a little too organized. Thank you very much. The State Minister, Honorable Ranjit Alvihare, the Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo, Professor K.R.R. Mahanama, Director General of the Department of Wildlife Conservation, Mr. Chandana Surya Bandara, and all other distinguished invitees, including my colleagues from the University of Colombo. And dear students, they are from the University of Colombo as well as the Kotalawala Defense University. Am I right? Yes. And all others, including many environmental activists who are here today. I'm very encouraged by the fact that so many of you from so many diverse occupations and interests in life have come here today to be present with us on this very important topic of wildlife trafficking. Whether it is globally or not, as those of you who will stay on for the technical sessions will hear, this is a very serious issue. It is not that it did not exist before, but it is now becoming increasingly evident that this is increasing in its negative impacts as well. Since this is the only opportunity that we have to talk a little bit about this symposium, instead of merely making it a welcome speech, I would like to say a little bit about this symposium. I believe, as Damitri and all the other compeers said, this is the first time, to the best of my knowledge, that we have brought together in a single forum people with specialized knowledge, and I repeat, specialized knowledge on wildlife trafficking, particularly in Sri Lanka, and also a few from overseas. And this, I believe, is a very significant achievement for this country, particularly for the Department of Wildlife Conservation and other law enforcement agencies, including Sri Lanka Customs and many others, Sri Lanka Police. I believe that this is the occasion on which they can demonstrate what they actually know. And of course, use this opportunity to tell the rest of the world what they know. If you look through the book of proceedings, I hope each one of you has got a copy. It is, the abstracts are printed, right? You will notice there are signs of a very alarming trend involving our wild species of plants and animals. Most of them are endemics. That means that they are confined to this country. And if they disappear, they are gone forever from this planet. Many species that are already under threat due to various other types of destructive human activities are the very ones that are being traded. That's an added threat to the existing ones, right? Obviously, it is not just the individuals. It is either their parts or products that are derived from them. And this is what we called wildlife trade. Maybe legal, maybe illegal. That wildlife trade is taking place at alarming rates and volumes is already known to some of you in this audience. Those who man the borders of this country, those who are in the law enforcement agencies, and those who research the indigenous and the endemic species of this country know this already and have done so for many decades. And perhaps I ought to say the Department of Wildlife Conservation and the Forest Department officials are perhaps those, including Sri Lanka Customs, in a different setting of course, are the people who know this very well. This symposium, as was announced earlier, is a pre-event of the COP18 of CITES that will be held in May 2019 in Sri Lanka. The CITES COP will obviously draw the world's attention, particularly its media, to Sri Lanka, because it is being said that this is the biggest gathering of foreign delegates in Sri Lanka ever to be held in this country, right? But before others turn their attention to us, I believe it's very important that we turn attention inwards to ourselves, I mean this country, inwards to this country. We, the organizers, decided to have a scientific symposium that shows the current status, trends of wildlife trafficking in this effort to bring to the attention of the general public as well as many other stakeholders the magnitude and the range of this problem. I'm truly grateful to the authors and the presenters of research papers as they have spent much time and effort analyzing their data, writing up the content, and of course putting up with my editorial comments, right? Preparing presentations, and some are traveling from distant places in Sri Lanka to be here today, right? And obviously spend long hours on the road braving our traffic. The topics of the research papers, and may I please draw your attention to the book of abstracts again. They range from trends in transnational illegal wildlife trade of fauna in the Sri Lankan context, the unceasing trade in Gyrinops valla, what we know as vallapatta in our common general language, right? The trade of which has become the bane of lowland wet zone forests in some parts of the country, the illegal trade on endemic freshwater fish species, endemic Sri Lankan lizards in the international pet trade, star tortoises, pardon me, as #1 pet species in trade, and the orchid trade, especially of Vanda tessellata species. There is one aspect that I'm very happy to note, as I commend and I'm very happy to see the papers of all presenters, but there's one group of people who I thought I ought to specially mention in this speech. That is, there are 5 research papers from the officers of Sri Lanka Customs. They are all serving officers of Sri Lanka Customs. They are privy to specialized knowledge that you and I will never have. And we are very unlikely to know it also unless they present it at fora like this. Very often, their detections, their seizures make big news. They grab national and international attention. However, they are often, they come out, they are published as popular articles, what we call, newspaper articles, popular magazine articles. Nothing wrong with that. They play an extremely important role in educating and raising awareness of the public. But this is something that I tell my students as a university teacher. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to publish scientifically valid data. Data that can stand up to the scrutiny of anybody, anywhere, whether nationally or internationally. And that's why we thought we ought to organize this. And I'm very, very happy to see the Sri Lanka Customs taking such an interest and obviously, taking the time to do this. Yes, we as the organizers are very happy that we have provided this scientific forum for data that would not otherwise be known to you. And those of you who stay on for the technical presentations will have the opportunity to hear from Mr. Ben Janse van Rensburg, the head of law enforcement support at the CITES Secretariat in Geneva. He is unable to travel to Sri Lanka, but in this day and age, we don't need that. He will be in Geneva, and we will hear his talk on the international relevance and how important it is that Sri Lanka addresses wildlife trafficking in this, in this event, obviously as we hear from this event, and also through the work and the attention of COP18 that will take place in May. As I looked through the notes that he had sent me, this was last night, I was particularly struck by something that he had written. I noticed that he had said, in summary, that governments of the world need to take wildlife trade with the same level of seriousness that they give to other crimes, such as drug trafficking, human trafficking, money laundering, etc. And that governments should employ the same techniques that they use to detect, prevent, and reduce those kinds of crimes in addressing wildlife trafficking too. Because he says, and I'm sure you will hear this from him, that wildlife traffickers will stop at nothing to get what they want because their payoffs are so big. He calls it a low risk, high payoff kind of crime. Looking at the contents of the research papers, I realized that we have only now started paying attention to what is obviously a serious issue in this country. We have a long way to go and much work to do. And especially for those Sri Lankans who say, we live in this very beautiful country. What is this beauty all about? The beauty that we are talking about comes for the most part from what we call our ecosystems. Forests, rivers, streams, wetlands, etc. Right? And they would not be here if not for the efforts of a few organizations that have been trying to do this for the past so many decades. And those of you who say, this is such a beautiful country, we are blessed with this, that, X number of species, I would say to wake up, so to speak, right? And pay attention to the threats that exist and emerging threats, the ones that are now becoming more and more important, like wildlife trafficking. The public has an enormous role to play in helping those who are trying their level best to protect the biodiversity of this country through illegal trade, But even if it is labeled as legal traffic, and I would like to turn my attention to the specialists in legal studies who are here, because this event has very high significance for those who pursue environmental law in this country, including the academics from other universities and my own university. I have my doubts whether some types of legal trade should even be allowed. This is my personal view, right? I'm sure we will have more discussions on this later on. I would also say to examine very carefully, listen very carefully to what the presenters are saying. It will tell you things that are more in depth, obviously, than what they appear to be. And you look at the big picture, you see something that is quite different to what we might know by only looking at it in parts. I believe I have taken enough time. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank a group of people who have been very supportive of us. That is the Jetwing Hotels, especially Mr. Hiran Kore and his team, for being very supportive of this inaugural event. And I wish Mr. Kore and his team and everybody at Jetwing Hotels who are working to protect the endangered species of this country all the very best. And I know you have achieved many successes, but I hope that you will achieve many more. So thank you very much. And I hope that this event inspires some of you, especially the young people who are here. I see many of them here, because it is you who will be the decision makers very soon in this country, and it is what you decide that will also decide what kind of country you live in and what kind of world you live in. So thank you very much.
ස්තුතියි මැතිනියනි. වනජීවී සංරක්ෂණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව අද දින පරිසංවාදයේහි සම මූලාසන දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය වනජීවී සම්පත සුරැකීමෙහිලා මහඟු කාර්යභාරයක් ඉටු කරන්නා වූ ආයතනය ඔබ නොසිටින්නට ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය වනජීව සම්පත ආරක්ෂා කර ගැනීම අපට අපහසු කාර්යයක් වනු ඇත. ඒ මහඟු කාර්යයට උදෙමින් ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය ස්වභාව ධර්මයත් සුන්දරත්වයත් වනජීවී සම්පතත් ආරක්ෂා කර ගැනීම වෙනුවෙන් අති මහත් වූ කර්තව්‍යයක් ඉටු කරන වනජීවී සංරක්ෂණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ අධ්‍යක්ෂ ජෙනරාල් ගරු එම්.ජී.සී. සූරිය බණ්ඩාර මැතිතුමනි, ඔබතුමන්ටයි මේ අවස්ථාව උත්සව සභාව අමතන්නට.
அடுத்ததாக இங்கு சமூகம் அளித்திருப்போருக்கு வனஜீவராசிகள் பாதுகாப்பு திணைக்களம் ஆற்றும் சேவைகளை பற்றி விரிவாக பேச வனஜீவராசிகள் பாதுகாப்பு திணைக்களத்தின் நிர்வாக இயக்குனர் திரு எம்.ஜி.சி. சூரிய பண்டார அவர்களை மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறேன்.
The role of the Department of Wildlife Conservation needs no introduction. Here to speak more on this, I'd like to invite Mr. M.G.C. Surya Bandara, Director General of the Department of Wildlife Conservation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. We are waiting for Honorable John Ramartunga, Minister of Tourism Development, Wildlife and Christian Religious Affairs. Honorable Ranjit Aluvihare, State Minister of Tourism Development, Wildlife and Christian Religious Affairs. Acting Vice Chancellor of this Columbia University, Professor Mahanama, all the representatives of the organizing partners, presenters, colleagues from the Department of Wildlife Conservation, ladies and gentlemen. I wish a pleasant good morning to all of you. I am pleased to address you at this juncture when the sector of wildlife conservation is evolving fast and where this evolution is radiating beyond borders, encompassing international relations of the country in terms of international wildlife trade. By way of hyperactive intrusions, we are being embarrassed by some entities which have no proper understanding on the true sense of wildlife conservation. Therefore, since the addition of international wildlife trade to our focal sector, wildlife, we are loaded with extra burden of managing the sector freed from mutant outlook at the exogenous pressure. Today, dear presenters, you are at the reach of an invaluable opportunity to stand for the authenticity of the wildlife conservation of Sri Lanka. Therefore, I believe and I expect you will exploit your opportunity to express your views on the strategic standpoint of Sri Lanka in terms of international wildlife trade, so that I shall outline some criteria that I employ to evaluate your effort. It is not a list, it's just a few expectations. CITES, our focal convention of this forum, can be a criterion that measures Sri Lanka's efficacy on strategic involvement in international trade and international relations. If you try to review, evaluate or assess pros and cons, cost and benefits of Sri Lanka's performance as a party to CITES, I rate you are well in the track. As a party to CITES, we have the right and opportunity to contribute in shaping up the convention through ideas, comments, reviews, and etc. I will highlight one example the ETIS report, Elephant Trade Information System report for CITES. They have employed cluster analysis to look into the trends and patterns of illegal trade in wildlife tusks. We observed that it is unfair the grouping of Sri Lanka with one particular country which is involved in ivory trade as a result of said cluster analysis. These two countries are contrasting to each other in terms of illegal trade in wildlife elephant tusks. At such a situation, our statisticians can involve to bring justice to Sri Lanka. It's a clear indication that many experts from many fields can and have to contribute to a common goal. I expect such an involvement from you. Majority of independent countries are parties to CITES. In such a flow, we have to be realistic of our capacity. However, in the matter of compliance criteria, we have to be precise about our approach, and we should be able to maintain our dignity and other sovereign features. If you have some thoughts to share with us in this regard, I will be more grateful. Those are some thoughts, so that we have to seriously take into account that many facets other than species-specific matters in relation to international wildlife trade exist in our vigilance, and our vigilance is highly critical and decisive. After all these expectations, I believe that it is reasonable for me to be selfish to consider that we all are in the same school. With this belief, I want to remind you that Wildlife Preservation Fund contributed this event through funding. Those poor wildlife officers who are blamed, humiliated, and undermined, above all sacrificed their lives on duty for some others' faults, have raised this fund. Therefore, I want you to bring justice for them. If these expectations are fulfilled, I will rate this event as a success. For that, I wish you all the best. Thank you and have a fruitful day. Thank you.
ස්තුතියි මැතිතුමනි. කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලය වර්තමානය වන විට වාර්ෂිකව වනජීවී සත්ව සම්පත ආරක්ෂා කිරීම වෙනුවෙන් ගවේෂණ සහ පර්යේෂණ කටයුතු රාශියක් සංවිධානය කරනු ලබන අතර අප සියලු දෙනා එක්ව ඒ වෙනුවෙන් දක්වන්නේ මහඟු දායකත්වයක්. මට නම් කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලය මිහිපිට පින්බිම. කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලය වෙනුවෙන් ඔබ සැම ඇමතීමට මාගේ ගෞරවනීය ආරාධනය අද දිනට අදාළව වැඩ බලන උපකුලපති ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ මහාචාර්ය KRR මහානම් මැතිතුමනි ඔබතුමන්ටයි.
கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் உபவேந்தர் சிரேஷ்ட பேராசிரியர் லக்ஷ்மண் திசாநாயக்க அவர்களால் இன்று சமூகம் அளிக்க முடியாத பட்சத்தில் கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் தற்காலிக உபவேந்தர் சிரேஷ்ட பேராசிரியர் KRR மகாநாம அவர்களை உரையாற்ற அழைக்கிறேன்.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo, Senior Professor Lakshman Disanayaka, is unfortunately unable to be present here today. To speak on his behalf, I'd like to invite Senior Professor KRR Mahanama, Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to all of you. Our Vice Chancellor, Senior Professor Lakshman Disanayaka, who is out of Colombo today, he's having a program with farmers. Actually, we are conducting a program to train the farmers to become graduates. At Veligatta, he is there, so I'm representing him on this occasion today. Honorable State Minister Ranjith Aluvihare and all the distinguished invitees, my colleagues from the science faculty, dear students, and ladies and gentlemen. It's with great pleasure that I take this opportunity to address you on behalf of the University of Colombo, which is one of the organizing partners of this symposium. The University of Colombo, as already you know, is a center of academic excellence and of intellectual capabilities. As the video that was shown before the start of the proceedings showed, the university has the longest history in the state university system of Sri Lanka, and we have a proud heritage of scholarship, high quality teaching, learning programs, at undergraduate and postgraduate levels and contributions to the development of Sri Lanka as well as other sectors of the country. Honorable Deputy Minister, we are conducting a lot of programs which are trying to preserve the environment, and also we are teaching our students as well as general public on those aspects. If you need any help from the University of Colombo, we are willing to cater you. We are conducting programs for the undergraduates as well as postgraduate, and also we are doing a lot of tailor-made programs for the requirement of the country. We are happy to help you on these issues there. Our students excel in other areas as well as such as sports, performing arts, and literacy works, to the name of a few. Our graduates have achieved many high positions and make many research-based applications of their knowledge and skills to the betterment of many countries. Some have achieved worldwide fame through their innovations and findings. But they all had their beginning as undergraduates in one place, that is University of Colombo. I'm sure many of you in this audience already know of the achievements of this prestigious institute. Actually, I'm very proud to say we have been ranked as the #1 university in the country, in the island, and also if we look at the world ranking, we are the only university in Sri Lanka which is within the first 1,000 universities in the world. I'm sure many of you in this audience know about these facts over here. The Faculty of Science, of which I am the Dean of Faculty, is known for its high academic achievements and draws students from all over the Sri Lanka who select it as a priority choice for their undergraduate studies. The Faculty of Science is also involved in national development through numerous research projects and outreach programs conducted by the 7 departments in it. Modern universities, faculties, academics, and even students can no longer concentrate only on the academic work and expect to make progress in society. We all have to reach outside of our chosen narrow disciplines and establish connections with a wide range of external organizations and people to bring economic and social prosperity to all as well as to ensure the sustainable environment for all. In fact, today, the quality of the academic program in a university is measured in a variety of ways, including the contributions they make to the rest of the society. This is a fact that is known to most of the people in Sri Lanka. Today's symposium is an example of one of our such contributions, where along with the several partners, University of Colombo and Faculty of Science has organized a scientific forum to improve the knowledge on special topics to those of you who are here today, as well as disseminate the findings of this important topic to those who are not present and rest of the country on the world. I'm very happy that the University of Colombo and the Faculty of Science are able to be partners of this effort here. We are all aware of the major environmental issues in our country. Climate change has become the latest but biggest threat to our planet. I'm an environmental chemist specializing in air pollution, and I know of rapid increasing of the level of air pollutants in our cities and some towns, and impact of that to the human health, especially for the children. But we also know that long-known threats to natural environments such as forests, wetlands, rivers, and streams, and coastal and marine areas are also increasing in their negative impacts. Now we hear of a newer type of threatening, that is what we call wildlife trafficking. Wildlife trafficking, as the presentations at this scientific event shows, is still a large, hidden, but increasing threat to the survival of our species. Sri Lanka is known the world over as a country with great natural beauty and high number of species that are not found elsewhere. Trafficking in these species and their parts poses a great special threat not only to the longer-term survival of those species, but of the ecosystems in which they function. I hope that from now onwards, based on the information in the research papers being presented today, this country in partnership with overseas agencies will take more actions to combat wildlife trafficking and to protect the plants and the animals of Sri Lanka, as that means protecting ourselves as well. I'm particularly happy to note that some of our undergraduates, as well as those who are from other universities are attending this symposium. Take the maximum opportunity what you are listening today and also direct your future research activities to protect our wildlife and the environment over here. I wish all of you who came here today to learn the knowledge of the very productive session today, and I extend the best wishes from my Vice Chancellor and all of us from the University of Colombo to have this program very successful. Thank you.
ස්තුතියි මැතිතුමනි ඔබතුමන්ට. ඒ අයුරින්ම මේ අවස්ථාවෙහි මෙහි නොවෙතත් කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ උපකුලපති ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ මහාචාර්ය ලක්ෂ්මන් දිසානායක මැතිතුමන් අතින් මේ උත්සව අවස්ථාව සංවිධානය කිරීමේහිලා ලබා දුන් මහඟු සහායට අප ගෞරවනීය ස්තුතිය පුද කරන්නටයි මේ සූදානම.
பேராசிரியர் KRR மகானாம் அவர்களுக்கு எமது நன்றிகளை தெரிவிக்கும் அதே நேரத்தில் இந்த மாநாட்டை ஒழுங்கமைக்க பாரி ஒத்துழைப்பை கொடுத்துதவிய கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழக உபவேந்தருக்கு எமது நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம்.
Thank you, Professor Mahanama. I would like to take this opportunity to also thank the Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo for his immense support towards organizing this symposium. It is greatly appreciated. The keynote speaker for today is a little delayed, so please be patient with us, and a couple of video clips will be shown.
Kumana National Park. Kumana, which consists of various ecosystems like semi-arid thorny scrub, thick jungle, grassy lands, sand dunes and sandy beaches, freshwater lakes, blackish lagoons, cave and caves, is well known as the paradise of birds. Kumana National Park's borders extend to the sea and lagoons, as well as variety of tanks and water holes. The main feature is the world-famous Kumana Mangrove Swamp, which is surrounded by plains and jungle. Top 7 wild Sri Lanka species can be seen in Kumana National Park. Another attraction is Bambaragas Talava, an ancient monastic site in the park. Kumana National Park can be reached by two ways from Colombo, via Beragala, Koslamda, and Thanamanvilla, Puthuvil, and Panama. From Colombo to Kumana National Park is approximately 391 kilometers. Wasgamua National Park. Wasgamua National Park is renowned for its large contingent of bears, wilderness settings, and the home of several interesting ancient sites. Bounded on three sides by Mahaveli, Aban, and Dunumira rivers, it is very diverse with open grasslands, closed forest, scrub jungles, riverine forest, rocky ridges, and small tanks. Its location to the east of the Knuckles Range provides for a very scenic park. The density of bears in Wasgamua National Park is probably higher than anywhere else in Sri Lanka. The name Wasgamua may also derive from an ancient meaning as a gathering place for bears. Wasgamua National Park can be reached from Colombo via Polonnaruwa or Matale. The distance to Wasgamua is 225 kilometers away from Colombo. Madhurai National Park. The picturesque Madhurai National Park conserves the catchments of Madhurai, Ulhitia, Ratkinda, NDK, and Henigala reservoirs, and tributaries of the Mahaveli and Madhurai river systems. The park is home to a lot of fauna and flora species like Asian elephants, leopards, sloth bears, and deer, and any other small mammals, as well as avifauna comprised with eagle, pelican, spoonbill, painted stork, and various kinds of water birds. Visitors from Colombo can reach Maldiroy National Park via Kurunagala, Dambulla, Habarana, Polonnaruwa and Manampitiya. It is approximately 265 kilometers away from Colombo. Galloy National Park. Galloy National Park, established to protect the catchment areas of Selanayaka Samudra, is one of the most scenic wild landscape sites of Sri Lanka, boasting of a number of small island and water paths. One of the most breathtaking sights in the park is the families of wild elephants who roam freely. The unprecedented value of Galloy National Park as a cultural heritage site and an important tourist destination is apparent with a wide array of attractions such as the ancient site of Digavapi, Nilgala Medicinal Land and Rathugala area, where one may catch a glimpse of ancient people of Sri Lanka. The Vedas. Apart from these wondrous sights, a visitor to the park is also captivated by the sight of Galloy Selanayaka Samudra, which adds to the sublime experience. Visitors from Colombo can reach Galloy National Park via Ratnapura, Palmadulla, Thanamalvila, Dallavaya, Monaragala. It is approximately 300 kilometers away from Colombo.
Welcome to CITES COP18 Sri Lanka. The Pearl of the Indian Ocean is a small miracle island able to boast of a rich and diverse ecosystem heritage that is aided and abetted by the country's topography and climatic diversity, as well as its coastal influence. From pristine beaches, pulsating underwater marine life, clear blue lagoons, wetlands, rivers, lush forests, reservoirs, cultural attractions, to grasslands and rolling hillsides with flourishing tea plantations, Sri Lanka has got it all. Endemic and migrating species love to call the island its home because of the close proximity of diverse habitats, and also with the world's largest two mammals visible within a few hours of each other. This is truly the tropics. The capital city, Colombo, is a busy and bursting one that hardly sleeps, and is home to the business, economic as well as entertainment hub of the country. No matter what your interests are, Colombo has got it covered. In fact, you may leave with some newly acquired interests too. Although a business city, it is a city blessed with greenery. Parks, protected wetlands and natural waterways teem with life even in the metropolis. The Bandaranayake Memorial International Conference Hall, or the BMICH, is such a green venue amidst the concrete jungle of the city. Home to the CITES office in Sri Lanka, it offers ideal conference facilities to host any type of event. The Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species and Wild Fauna and Flora, otherwise known as CITES, is an international agreement between governments. It aims to ensure that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten its survival. Sri Lanka has been part of CITES from its inception and is proud to be a committed party intent not only on welcoming our valued delegates to our beautiful island nation, but also to use COP18 to generate island-wide publicity as never before amongst every demographic in the country. To this end, the CITES Secretariat in Sri Lanka has organized an arena of events during and after the conference. The Sustainable Living Festival is perhaps the most looked forward to fringe festival that will bring together conference participants with the people of Sri Lanka and enable the delegates to experience what truly makes Sri Lanka special. It is a unique opportunity to meet, greet, eat and treat. A carbon calculation of the conference highlights that CITES COP18 is a carbon-sensitive conference. Carbon and emission calculations will be matched with the ongoing reforestation project, and a corresponding, if not higher, amount of trees will be planted to combat the carbon calculations of the conference. With 22 million warm hearts waiting to welcome 183 nations between the 22nd of May and 3rd of June 2019, hospitality is not just an option, it's a way of life. This is Sri Lanka. One country, one ambition. Welcome.
Thank you very much for your patience. Since Mr. Ravinatha Aryasinghe is still delayed, we shall break for tea now. It's 9:45. Please be back here at 10:15 because we will hear from Mr. Aryasinghe, followed by the talk by Mr. Ben Jansen van Rensburg from the CITES Secretariat in Geneva. So thank you very much for being here and for your patience, attention. And before I finish, please, I would like to introduce the three ladies who did the comparing. Please come here. Come. Damitri Chatumani is a graduate of the University of Colombo. She is an academic staff member in the university. Ashwini Ramana is an undergraduate in the Faculty of Science in the University of Colombo. And Shala Amarasuriya is from Environmental Foundation. Please give them a round of applause. Tea is served in the rooftop restaurant area, which is one floor above this. Thank you. So we hope to see you back by 10:15.
සමවන්න මේ ගෞරවනීය ආරාධනය ඔබට දැන් සියලු කටයුතු සූදානම් දවසට නියමිත මූලදේශනය වෙනුවෙන් මොහොතක් රැඳී සිටින්න. මීළඟට යෙදී ඇත්තේ දිනට නියමිත මූලදේශනයයි. ඒ සඳහා මාගේ ගෞරවනීය ආරාධනය විදේශ කටයුතු පිළිබඳ ගරු ලේකම් තැන්පත් රවිනාථ ආර්යසිංහ මැතිතුමනි ඔබතුමන්ටයි.
இங்கு ஏற்பட்ட நேர தாமதத்திற்கு வருந்துகிறோம். அடுத்ததாக இன்றைய நிகழ்விற்கான முதன்மை பேச்சாளர் இலங்கை அரசாங்க வெளிநாட்டு அலுவல்கள் அமைச்சின் செயலாளர் திரு ரவிநாத ஆரியசிங்க அவர்களை உரையாற்ற பணிவுடன் மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறேன்.
Our keynote speaker for today is the Secretary of Foreign Affairs of the Government of Sri Lanka. Please welcome Mr. Ravinatha Aryasinghe.
Sorry for detaining you from your tea, but I have to be somewhere at 10:45, so that's why I had to do this and get out. The easy thing to have done today was to say I couldn't come, but I didn't do that because, and you know, the bread and butter issues in your trade. For us diplomats, that is interesting and important, but not enough. So I suggested to the then Honorable Minister Gamini Jayawickramaperera, and that thought has resonated very well with the present Minister, Honorable John Amaratunga, both whom I have known from the time they came into politics, which shows how old I am, that we should make something out of this for our country while helping the international cause. And there were three things I suggested that we parallelly work on. And Sevandi will remember this when we had the first meeting with Honorable former Minister Gamini Jayawickramaperera. First was that we should use this. Now this is not about your expertise of the conference, but that we should use this to showcase Sri Lanka's leadership in multilateral fora. We have done this in an incremental way, not enough. But if you look at the last year, as I have said in other fora, Wajid is here and knows about what this is about. On issues relating to disarmament last year, we led the world. We were able to push, after 22 years, a consensus to move the conference on disarmament forward, something which had passed for 22 years. Then later in October, at a conference organized on the Indian Ocean in Colombo, we brought the maritime users together with the countries in the region, the littoral and hinterland states together, to try to develop a regime relating to the Indian Ocean region. I saw this as, and by the way, there's a ministerial conference on that, which is being organized under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, which is scheduled to take place somewhere in June. We'll be making formal announcements on this. Similarly, I saw this 6 months ago or a little earlier as an opportunity where Sri Lanka can assert its leadership in the struggle relating to the international regimes pertaining to this area of CITES. So that was the first objective. Not just to help CITES and its conference, which is from the discussions I've been listening to are very technical stuff, but to showcase our experts whom I have known over years. Not enough though, because I haven't been in Sri Lanka for the last 10, and therefore my interactions have largely been trying to get you opportunities abroad to go and strengthen your expertise in the scientific community, particularly whether it is at CERN or whether it is at WIPO or other areas. But I saw this as an opportunity, number one, to bring our whole environment community together, wildlife and environment community, which I know is not quite the most cohesive group, cutting across all these agencies, universities together. I think we are on the way to achieving that. The second aspect was to try to make sure that we project ourselves as a conference hub. Something since Chogam in 2013, we have actually not done. We haven't hosted a big international conference. And this is bigger than most. It's not bigger in terms of the number of heads of state or ministers who are going to be here, but it is one huge conference, 184 countries going to be present here. So organizationally, it's a mammoth challenge, and I want to salute our colleagues from the security forces, the Bandaranaike International Conference Hall management, if they are here, who are doing yeoman service along with the other technical committees to try to get this physical infrastructure ready. It's been quite a challenging task, but I think we are up to it. And as I always say, we are better when we are given a short deadline than a long deadline. So let's see how good we are in a matter of months. Parallel with that, the big plus for Sri Lanka will be for tourism. And we saw that, because this comes in the lean season of the travel trade, which we are trying to do various things to get up our numbers. This will help that period. And since you are getting genuine wildlife and fauna and flora enthusiasts, you will be getting the message across, the best advertisement you don't need to pay any money for. So I had even suggested the other day that maybe you should close the parks for a day or two and get these people to actually go and get a real feel of our fauna and flora as proper nature lovers would do. But additionally, the hotel industry, if they pull their act together, and my colleagues from the Economic Affairs and Public Communications are in the front line of helping in that process, we have a lot to gain if this exercise is worked properly. But what I think the third element, which I suggested at that point, is why you are here. And that is to bring together not just the most senior academicians, but to use this opportunity to generate enthusiasm among the future of those who are focusing on this area. Because it is through you, younger academics, nothing wrong with the senior ones, but I think the senior academics should now be well networked. If not, there's a problem. And I know that several of you are absolutely regarded out there in the international community. It gives you an opportunity for you to showcase yourself, but also this gives us a preparatory ground, this conference, symposium for us to get our next generation of academicians up to speed and use this conference as a catalyst to show how serious Sri Lanka is in this sphere. Not just for optics of crushing ivory tusk or some other, grand optics, but actually, genuinely in focusing on it. President, as we speak, is in Nairobi attending an environment forum. We recently have been out in the forefront in some of these issues, and we have got some respect for it. It is important that when you all go for this conference, that Sri Lanka can project some new idea. I'm not sure what that is, and I really don't want to know, as long as you have some idea which your peers from abroad in the international community are going to respect. The Colombo conference must be remembered not because it was well organized, or the streets were nice, or they had a nice time in Vilpattu or Yala. It must be remembered because we made a contribution to CITES and the global regime relating to CITES. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the challenge, and that I would hope is what you will be focusing about. I notice from this agenda we have some very significant topics, and I think that rather than a lot of small ideas, we should focus on a few big ideas. We should integrate some of these under thematic issues, not necessarily the thematic issues they are interested in, but in thematic issues which we are interested in, which resonates with the international regimes and doctrines which are presently at play. And maybe under a broad theme, then we can cluster one or two of this. And now itself start trying to figure out how we do things the day after CITES is over. If this is all about organizing CITES and Sewandi taking a bow, then I think this is no use. It's not just to organize a conference. This must be the beginning, not the end, of our role internationally with this exercise, something which I must say that even I in Geneva for 3.5 years, didn't pay much attention to. And I think Daniel and former minister who came were the ones who brought energy into it. And then we got the momentum going, and that is why we have got this conference at our doorstep. So let's make the best use of it. Let's put all our hands together in doing so. And most importantly, it is very important, and it's almost a dream, that finally wildlife and tourism ministries are together. Imagine if it wasn't, how we'd do this, how difficult it would be. So you have a dream situation where you have the same minister handling both subjects, so you can leverage very directly. And as the minister and his colleagues know, the Foreign Office is supporting him fully. He wanted me to be a little more involved than I am, but through my minister, we respectfully excused ourselves from it, but I come whenever you want me. I'm at your call. But I'm here not on call. I'm here for my passion to ensure that the next generation of academicians in this country, not just wildlife enthusiasts, wildlife experts, and fauna and flora experts, which I know very little about, but all junior academics become cutting-edge academics, because it is through your doing that that Sri Lanka will stay relevant in the international community, and you too will be regarded in the international community. So with those words, which is less about CITES but more about you, and how you can benefit from this exercise. I will leave you and wish you the very best in this conference, and I hope you will find some way to, on the sidelines of CITES, to also engage on these subjects with some of those experts who come, if not parallel and alongside the conference, just a little before or just a little after. I understand this bunch which comes with the full caravan, wives, sometimes officers and everybody, so you will have good attention, so make the best of it. Good luck.
ස්තුතියි මැතිතුමනි. පහුගිය දවස් කීපය පුරාවට මට අවස්ථා කීපයක් ලැබුණා විදේශ අධ්‍යාපන සංචාර කිහිපයක යෙදෙන්නට. අධ්‍යාපන කටයුතු වලින් අනතුරුව මමත් මගේ මිතුරාත් පොඩ්ඩක් එළියට ආව ඇවිදලා බලන්න. රටවල් කිහිපයක වීදීන් තිබුණා. ඒ වීදීන් පුරාවට තිබුණේ අත් බෑග්, ඉනපටි, පාවහන්. මම එක වෙළඳසැලකට ගිහින් ඇහුවා මේ බෑග් එකේ ගාණ කීයද? මිල අධිකයි. මගේ දිහා බලලා කිව්වා ඒ භාෂාවෙන් මිස් මේ ලෙදර් කියලා. මං ගියා ඊළඟ කඩේට අත් බෑග් වෙළඳසැලට. මං ගිහින් ඇහුවා සමාවෙන්න ඉනපටි වෙළඳසැලට. මං ගිහින් ඇහුවා මිල කීයද? මිල අධිකයි. මිස් මේ ලෙදර් කිව්වා. මං ගියා පාවහන් වෙළඳසැලට. මිල ඉතාමත්ම අධිකයි. මට කිව්වා මිස් මේ ලෙදර් කියලා. මට හිතුණා මිහි තලය මත අවසන් වනජීවියත් Tamanගේ හුස්ම මේ හිස් අහසට මුසු කරපු දවසට අපි ලෙදර් හදයි කියලා අපෙන්ම. ඒ නිසා මේ සුදුසුම කාලය, සුදුසුම අවස්ථාව මනසින් උසස්යයි සම්මත අපට එක්ව එක්සත්ව නැගී සිටින්නට අපගේ ස්වභාව ධර්මය වෙනුවෙන්. ස්තුතියි.
இத்துடன் இம்மாநாட்டின் தொடக்க விழா முடிவுக்கு வருகிறது. இங்கு வருகை தந்து எமக்கு ஒத்துழைத்த அனைத்து நல்லுள்ளங்களுக்கும் எமது நன்றிகள். இன்றைய நிகழ்வின் தொழில்நுட்ப அமர்வுக்கு தொடர்ந்து செல்லும் முன்னர் ஒரு சிறிய தேநீர் இடைவேளை விடப்படும். உங்கள் அனைவரையும் காலை நேர போசனத்துக்காக இந்த கட்டிடத்தின் மேல் மாடிக்கு செல்லும்படி பணிவுடன் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். அத்துடன் முதலாவது அமர்வு இன்னும் 30 நிமிடங்களில் ஜெனீவா சைட்டி செயலகத்தின் பிரதிநிதியான திரு பென் ஜான்ஸ் வான் ரென்ஸ்பர்க் அவர்களின் உரையுடன் தொடங்கும். காலம் தாமதிக்காமல் வருகை தரவும். நன்றி.
We have now come to the end of the inauguration ceremony of this symposium. Thank you once again for being here and showing your support. Before we proceed to the technical sessions of today's proceedings, we will pause for a short tea break. As Dr. Nirmali mentioned, please make your way to the rooftop area of this building, which is one floor above this, for some light morning refreshments. Mr. Ben Jans Vans Rensburg of the CITES Secretariat Geneva is our opening speaker for the first technical session. This will commence in half an hour's time, so please be kind enough to make your way back to the auditorium by then. Thank you.
Sri Lanka, the island of paradise, with captivating and enchanting charms. The island's spell, snared by an orching sun, great green waters, purple dusks, gushing waterfalls, rising blue mountains, and starry heavens, the wonders of the country of oasis. Colombo, the heart of the evergreen island, shrouded by the waters of magnificent sea. The city of promises,
kindling in all hearts a hope of tomorrow. The harmonious blend of all races whispers to the ear the unheard stories of glorious past, rejuvenating the town centre. University of Colombo. The pioneering academia of the history of higher seats of learning in Sri Lanka. The most respected and acclaimed higher seat of learning of the nation. A legacy of intellectuals located in the heart of Colombo. The initiative nucleus of the academic atmosphere was formed by amalgamating the Ceylon Medical College, founded in 1870, and the Ceylon University College in 1921, which were incorporated into the university later. By April 1942, the University of Colombo was established by the State Council. The first Vice-Chancellor of the new university, Sir Ivo Jennings, architect of academic nature in Sri Lanka. From colonialism to modernity, our proud history runs over 148 years of an uninterrupted stand with multicultural, multi-ethnic and multi-religious student and staff population, fostering social harmony, cultural diversity, unity and equal opportunity. Strive to be a center of excellence of regional and international repute, building synergies between knowledge, education, research and entrepreneurship. It is our vision. The University of Colombo comprises around 185 degree programs, about 25,000 students, 700 academics and researchers. Varsity with the power of empowering the nation. We excel at promoting student-centered teaching practices, self-directed learning through assignments which foster discovery of knowledge, creative productions, and collaborative projects. Our 9 faculties, multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary in nature, and strengthened by 56 academic departments, a campus, a school, 7 institutes, and 8 centers. The university widens foreign and local undergraduates' horizons to face the global challenges ahead of them. Faculty of Graduate Studies offers diploma and postgraduate courses of a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary nature, concentrating on capacity building by entering into linkages with the outside world to equip the youth with all necessary knowledge. We work hand in hand with outside corporate sectors to ensure that the university caters to the needs of the day. The library supports the university vision with up-to-date materials, books, and other resources where both staff and students communicate and express their creative and scholarly ideas in respective disciplines. The international unit of the University of Colombo is proud to have links with almost all internationally recognized universities, with the view of providing scholars with the latest global scholarships. The warm and friendly academic atmosphere, together with recreational facilities and other services through experience of enjoyment, physical fitness, and increased self-confidence opportunities for togetherness, are also parts of our academic endeavors. Heading to Metropolitan University, surrounded by modern and international outlook and character, with easy access to international information and resource centers, libraries, theaters, sports complexes, and other facilities. Modern technology incorporates with scientific research, blends into writers, poets, critics, and artists, creating and enchanting charms. The island's spell, snared by an age-old magic of scorching sun, great green waters, purple dusks, gushing waterfalls, rising blue mountains, and starry heavens, the wonders of the country of oasis. Colombo, the heart of the evergreen island, shrouded by the waters of magnificent sea. The city of promises, kindling in all hearts a hope of tomorrow. The harmonious blend of all races whispers to the ear the unheard stories of glorious past, rejuvenating the town center. University of Colombo. The pioneering academia of the history of higher seats of learning in Sri Lanka. The most respected and acclaimed higher seat of learning of the nation. A legacy of intellectuals located in the heart of Colombo. The initiative nucleus of the academic atmosphere was formed by amalgamating the Ceylon Medical College, founded in 1870, and the Ceylon University College in 1921, which were incorporated into the university later. By April 1942, the University of Colombo was established by the State Council. The first Vice-Chancellor of the new university, Sir Ivo Jennings, architect of academic nature in Sri Lanka. From colonialism to modernity, our proud history runs over 148 years of an uninterrupted stand with multicultural, multi-ethnic, and multi-religious student and staff population, fostering social harmony, cultural diversity, unity, and equal opportunity. Strive to be a center of excellence of regional and international repute, building synergies between knowledge, education, research, and entrepreneurship. It is our vision. The University of Colombo comprises around 185 degree programs, about 25,000 students, 700 academics and researchers. Varsity with the power of empowering the nation. We excel at promoting student-centered teaching practices, self-directed learning through assignments, which foster discovery of knowledge, creative productions, and collaborative projects. Our 9 faculties, multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary in nature, and strengthened by 56 academic departments, a campus, a school, 7 institutes, and 8 centers. The university widens foreign and local undergraduates' horizons to face the global challenges ahead of them. Faculty of Graduate Studies offers diploma and postgraduate courses of a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary nature, concentrating on capacity building by entering into linkages with the outside world to equip the youth with all necessary knowledge. We work hand in hand with outside corporate sectors to ensure that the university caters to the needs of the day. The library supports the university vision with up-to-date materials, books, and other resources, where both staff and students communicate and express their creative and scholarly ideas in respective disciplines.
They will be back in about, say, 10 minutes time. That's the starting time. There's a little change in that. The minister in charge of this topic of wildlife conservation, he will be here because earlier he wasn't going to be here. He will be here to listen to your talk, and at the end, he may, I do not know, he may ask you a few questions. Is that okay? Okay, all right. Thank you. So you have come into the office just for this talk, is it? Have you?
Yes, no, it's fine, but it's unheard of to work straight after this, so no problem.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you for getting into a suit so early in the morning, right?
No problem at all, it's my pleasure.
Okay, all right. So we will then connect with you in about 10 minutes time, right? Okay?
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Bye. Can I use this mic now? Thank you very much. Can you please ask anybody who's outside to come in, please? Can you all go outside and tell everybody and call the people who are outside to please come in? ඔයා තේ එකක් හරි බොන්න ළමනේ. ඒගොල්ලන් ගෙනේ පල්ලෙහාට. Could all the presenters of the papers of the first technical session, there are 7, can you please come and sit in the second row, please, because it's going to take time if you sit behind. Presenters of the papers of the first session. Mr. Egodoviyana? You? No. You. Please take your seat in the second row. Can somebody give me the list of names, please? Yeah, okay. uh, each one of you has, I believe, a book of abstracts, and in that there should be the order in which they are being presented is the same order that they are printed in the book of abstracts. So we have Mr. Egodoviana, then Ms. Fonseca, Gayani Fonseca, yes. Samantha Gunasekara, Hemantha Karunathilaka, Samantha Gunasekara again, Manori Gunawardena and Manori Gunawardena. Right, thank you very much. Don't care. This is not the time for me to worry about this. Please, are there any more people outside? Yeah. I've just been informed that the Honorable John Amarathunga, the Minister in charge of the subject of wildlife conservation, is about 5 minutes away. So we will await his arrival to invite Mr. Ben Jansen van Rensburg from Geneva to give his talk. Until such time, let me quickly explain the arrangement for the technical sessions. You will see in your book of abstracts that there are 3 themes under which the